So by bringing, it's not even bringing, but the words are difficult. It's not even bringing attention to consciousness, because where are you going to go to bring attention to consciousness? Consciousness is happening, isn't it? It's more like a recognition, an admission. Yes, consciousness is here. It is functioning. It is aware right now. It is seeing through the eyes. It is hearing through the ears. Yes, that is consciousness. As I say, it doesn't matter if you understand it, just the admission, the recognition that it is present. And then stopping in that recognition. No speculation, no metaphysics, no ideas, just stopping in that simple, simple recognition of consciousness of spirit. It silences you all by itself. And just stopping in that recognition opens you to, as it were, falling out of a personal experience of consciousness into universal consciousness. That's why I always focus on it. Because actually, there isn't two things. There's not personal consciousness and universal. It's all the same consciousness. It just seems personal and small and limited because of the mind interpreting and distorting things in an incorrect way. When the mind stops interpreting, distorting, looking for meaning, and all of that, when you fall out of the mind, then that exact same consciousness reveals itself to be universal. Universal meaning that source from which all arises. And because all arises from that source, what arises from the source is the source. Every wave that arises from the ocean is 100% water. It's no less water because it has become a wave, or a stream in the mountain, or the mist of a geyser, or a rain shower on your face, or a little trickle of a stream down the side of a mountain. Water is water. It doesn't matter what form it takes, whether there's a lot of it or a little of it. One drop of water is 100% water. You've heard that phrase, the whole world or universe contained in a grain of sand. Right? It means you don't need a lot of it. Right? Any bit of it contains the whole. So, as I said, I cannot give a great explanation. I don't really want to give a great explanation or a philosophical presentation of what consciousness is, because that just leads the mind, well, back into thinking, right? And before you know it, the mind starts to think that it knows what it's thinking about. And it's once again lost in its thinking. Why settle for thinking about consciousness when you can open up to its presentation right here and right now? Why take a fabricated idea about it when the real thing is fully functional and fully happening right now? Now, I cannot tell you how one goes from what seems like personal to universal. As I say, that is a grace. That grace simply means you can't control that. You can't make it happen. In fact, the best thing you can do is to realize you can't make it happen. That's what you can do, is to realize there's nothing you can do. But that's a lot to do. Does that make sense? Most people don't do that. They do everything but that. Right? That, however, doesn't mean that you just check out and go, there's nothing I can do. It's all going to happen when it happens. I'll just crack a Budweiser and watch afternoon TV. It'll happen when it happens. That's not what I'm saying. That's just another definition of there's nothing you can do, right? Or as one Zen master said, it's not doing nothing, it's doing nothing. And how do you explain that to somebody? Well, if you're in your mind, it's complicated, isn't it? You can never figure it out, in fact. It's so unapproachable. You can't figure something like that. Not in 100 years you can't figure something like that out. But if you're in simplicity, right here, right now, consciousness is doing nothing. Your consciousness is doing nothing. It's not a checked out doing. It's not a dismissive doing. Doing nothing. It's not a lazy doing nothing. It's vital and alive and full of presence. It's the doing nothing where everything is being done. Okay, that's about the best I can do. The rest you have to realize for yourself, okay? When it comes to you, you will see that everywhere. You'll see it everywhere. The person can't see that, can't see the divine, can't see consciousness, can't see spirit everywhere. The personal self can never do that. Consciousness only can do that. It sees itself everywhere, in everything, and also as the no-thingness from which it all springs, dances in, and dissolves back into. And it seems so complicated and mysterious when you hear about it, and when it comes to you, it's so unimaginably simple and yet beautiful that you can't imagine how you ever missed it. So just to end up, the two most important things. You as an ego can't make it happen. Realizing you can't make it happen really opens the doorway for the happening to happen. Right? That's a very powerful thing, realizing you can't make it happen. And what you can do is to simply come into a recognition, an appreciation, a acknowledgement that consciousness is fully functional. Get the sense of it, get the feel of it, give your attention, your heart, and your soul to that. Just to that. Just to the sense, the feel. The rest literally takes care of itself. It really takes care of itself. It can only take care of itself. Okay? There's no other thing that can happen than for it to take care of itself. Okay? Good. So that's as good as I can do. All right? You do the rest.